Hi all. So today we're going to make a fun Christmas arrangement. I was thinking it'd be fun to go to the antique market in my town and go pick up a new vase or compote to make the arrangement in. I love shopping and adding to my collection, so I think that would be really fun. This is what I picked up from Trader Joe's. I will say it was the most picked over I have seen in a long time. I think, it's the week of Christmas. People are excited to decorate and make flower arrangements. So, what I picked up was very limited, or what I picked from, even more limited than Thanksgiving. So, we have some pre made arrangements I'm going to deconstruct here. We have a good mix of hellebores. I think I see some stock here, some carnations, some mums. We have a rose, some yarrow. Really a good mix in here. We have some hypericum berries. We have some holly. I did pick up some white hydrangeas and then a mixed variety of, evergreen back here as well. So it'll be really fun still. But we'll go ahead and head over to the antique center first, see what we can pick up, kind of peruse the holiday decor. I think that's such a fun activity to do, even with your littles, as long as they're confined in a stroller or something. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Violet's taking a nap right now. Owen, you are absolutely going to hear probably roaring in the background most of the video. So excited to have you here. We'll get started. And here comes Owen. Hi, bud. Bye, Owen. Okay. So yeah, thanks for joining today. I'm excited to decorate for the holidays. We host every year, so I think that it's just such a treat to have my husband's family out. We do a big dinner on actual Christmas. Christmas Eve, we'll do kind of like picky appetizer and charcuterie board, but it'll be really fun, and I'm excited to really dress up the dining room and make it really festive with flowers. Okay, so I was working with a bit of a budget shopping. I could have absolutely bought like the sled that you saw and so many other really beautiful things. There was like a Santa and like reindeer combo that was literally stunning, but it was $95. So we were definitely on more of a budget, and I was trying to focus more on like compotes. So this is what I picked up. I'm just gonna kind of get closer so I can bring it in for you. But this is stunning. I think this could honestly live in my dining room all year round, but I just loved the red coloring and the cutouts. I thought it was so pretty. I also like that I can, ball up some chicken wire in here for the arrangement and you're not going to see it. But I thought this was so dainty. I loved the roses on the side and the red. I think this will fit in really nicely on the buffet table. So really excited for this one. The second compote that I picked up is this really pretty green. I loved the color of it. It's funny. I had to deconstruct my garland that I had from Thanksgiving because it was very obviously dry and like dead. So I kind of threw the pine cones in here, the ribbon, the oranges, and the faux berries. And I'm honestly not mad. I think it actually looks kind of fun. But we might make an arrangement in this one, TBD. This was kind of fun to just add those like deconstructed pieces. We also have some dried flowers in here too. So I just thought this one was pretty. Honestly, this could even be like gorgeous if you're gonna do like a dessert in here or something. I loved like the scalloped edge here was really pretty. But I just thought this one, loved the green color, and it felt very festive for Christmas. So this is the second one that I picked up. All right, so I wanted to bring you in just to show you the mechanics. I did spill some water, but essentially I balled up some chicken wire here, and then I used this Oasis clear tape. It's about 1/4 inch, and I went across this way here. Basically just made a crisscross of tape to really secure the chicken wire, and then I also added another layer by putting the tape all the way around to really secure like the underside of each of these. To make sure this is really secure, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not even moving around really as I kind of move it. So as you add stems, you want that extra security so you're not kind of moving your arrangement around too much. I just wanted to note too, what's really great about chicken wire, again, this is just like green coated chicken wire you can get at any typical hardware store, is you can use it over and over again. So, you know, I find it better than like the foam too, because it's very forgiving and you can pull the stems in and out and kind of adjust like the height of things if you need to, and play around with shape as you kind of take a step back as you're making the arrangement too. So I went ahead and kind of like gave everything a fresh cut. It's in the water buckets next to me. You're gonna have a lot of sound effects for Moen today. And then I always try to start like prepping greenery too, because as I've spoke to in the past, this is typically where I start with my arrangements. I start with them with the greenery. I kind of layer that in first and then go ahead and add in my flowers. So I definitely think with this one that it doesn't need to be kind of seen from all angles. It's going to be on the buffet with like the food, so I think we can get away with it being more one-sided. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of start. I'll certainly have to kind of take a peek around to see, you know, how it's looking shape-wise, but we'll play around with it from here and see. I like to give varying height as well. So, you know, I like to have kind of one side lower and then kind of it scale up on the other side so that it has that kind of flow through and shape to it. So we'll see how we can add this one in next. Oh, and what on earth, Lovey? I was getting a shopping cart. We have a Target shopping cart that both my children are absolutely obsessed with, which is very cute. So again, we're just gonna try to add some shape in here. I'm gonna kind of come down here. And you wanna make sure anything that falls below the water line is going to come off. But you're at a 10, can you be at like a 5? Take it up to a 12. All right, so I'm just gonna try to create some structure and shape with the greenery first. And it's okay if they kind of spin around. You can kind of wedge them back in where you want them to be. This one has a mind of its own. Lower. What's nice too is with like these pieces of greenery, you can kind of like cut multiple off. So I'll kind of like edit them to be able to add them to the arrangement. We're gonna pull off again. All this that's gonna fall below the water line really needs to come off to give your arrangement the, you know, longest life it can have without the greenery in the water making it yucky. So again, we're gonna kind of play around with shape here. There's such a variety that came in this pack of evergreens. So again, you'll get a giant piece like this, but you can kind of edit it and play around with different pieces of it. I'm going to come around the front here and there to just kind of see how I feel about the shape of it. Oh, and honey, can you please take that carriage somewhere else? That's crazy. That was a crazy one. All right. Hi. Mama's making a flower arrangement for Christmas. How many more days till Santa comes, bud? 5? Yeah, actually I lied. I think it's 3. So again, you can see that there's kind of a little bit of structure happening here. We have like a higher point over here and then it dips to this side. You want to make sure there's kind of a shape happening within the arrangement to draw the eye around. I also think it really helps to have a variety of greeneries. You can tell that this is like a darker color. We have this lighter evergreen here and then kind of like a middle green here. So the variety of not only the shapes of the different greenery, but also the color really creates and adds that dimension in the arrangement as well. I cannot with the sound effects that are coming from my living room right now. All right, so I also picked up some Hypericum berries. I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of these in. I do love that we already have like the holly in here that has like a great pop of berry texture to it. But I liked this like kind of more like chartreuse green. I thought this would be fun to add. Grab my clippers, start getting my mess out of here. I'm just gonna tuck these low on this side. I also don't want to take too much away from the holly though. So I do love that pop of red. So I'm gonna tuck this one really low back here even. I'm gonna take one low in the front too, just to again add some more texture in there as well. There we go. All right, and then we can start to play around with our focal flowers. So I do have some pretty big hydrangeas, which I almost feel like might be too big for this arrangement. So another thing you can do with hydrangeas is again, just kind of edit pieces out. So like this one's not as bad, but the other ones I have are really, really large. And I like to tuck my hydrangeas in like pretty low. So I don't know, I actually might still edit a piece off. So you can see I just kind of chopped one of the pieces off here. And then I do want to tuck this in low. So I'm going to kind of go in with it right here. And you're going to have to wiggle it in there. I'm going to tuck that one in low to the side there. And then we can start adding in some other flowers too. So this yarrow is really pretty. It's got a deep burgundy hue to it. I'll bring it in here. Pretty color. We'll go ahead and add this in. Again, this is yarrow, so it's like such a great pop of texture. I like to utilize in arrangements. I do grow some in the garden as well in the summer, which is so fun. I'm missing my garden right now immensely. We have some mums here that I'm gonna add, and again, just editing off this like bottom pieces. And then anything that is broken off, we can kind of take that off. Grab the greenery out of there. Let's see where we want to stick this one. Honestly, might even just edit this off and play around with this over here on this side. Add some height with the flowers over here. I'm gonna add one pop over here. And then hellebore is definitely just such a pretty flower. It's so dainty, it almost like dances. So I definitely want to add this one higher up in the arrangement. So I think I might do it kind of off to this side here, but I love, again, that like pop of like really bright green that it's giving. I think it's really pretty. I just want to see what is the best way to position this one. I love doing one-sided arrangements. I just think it's really much easier to design than when you do the 360. I think that I like this. This is a brighter pop around these carnations. Check that pop of red down lower. Again, you're gonna see me kind of moving around so I can see what the heck I am doing. This pop of bright red is pretty in contrast with the burgundy. And then yes, we do have a small piece of stock back here. So again, stock is a great flower to add some height within the arrangement. So I'm gonna put him over here. Adds a little bit more dimension and interest. And then let's see, I do have a couple of roses, which we'll add as more of like a focal flower. I would like this to sit kind of front and center somewhere. So I might do one off to the side here. And then I'm gonna probably do one right either on the side here or in the back. I don't know if that looks prettier. This might be nice to do on the side. There we go. And then we'll add some, I think I have some more mums over here. I have a couple white carnations as well. So the carnation I think will go in the back. And again, when we're through, I'll go through and add some more greenery likely to just fill in the gaps a little bit more. But we'll see how we feel once this is built out more. Going back in with some stock on the other side. I'm gonna make sure to leave some height in there. I'll probably do more off the side. So if you're having trouble getting into the chicken wire, once it starts getting full, you can kind of twist it around to play with it. All right, and then I like, again, this pop of like chartreuse green. So I'm gonna edit this a little bit, this mum. Again, it's got like a really pretty, just really bright green, and it kind of just contrasts from that really dark green that we have in the greenery all around the arrangement. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this down. This is a little tougher when the stem is really thick, so I try to like, make sure I can get it into the arrangement easily. You just want to make sure you give everything like varying height to it as well. And then if you need to kind of pop something down lower, you can kind of move stuff to the side and just push it down. That one I wanted to kind of build out a little bit. Again, chicken wire is so forgiving, so you can kind of move it up and down as you go. I'd like to pop a couple more of these kind of around the side here. And pop some down lower in here too to just hide some mechanics. That contrast is really pretty as well within, but we'll pop some of these low to, again, just really start to hide mechanics in the arrangement. So I think that's filling in nicely. Let's see, I think I have another carnation over here. Yeah. See where we want to add this. What's nice is the white also just gives that, pop to really accentuate the red that's in the arrangement. I realize I have another bright red carnation over here too. So when you take a step back, it really just lets you see what, gaps or holes you kind of want to fill in, and gives you a better perspective. Take a step back here and take a look. I think I'd like to add a carnation friend on this side, but tucked in a little lower. There we go. I do have some variegated holly, which I think would be fun to add a pop of, so I'm going to cut some off here and decide where I want to put it. Again, it's just like an alternate greenery that gives a nice kind of pop in the back. I'll also add some maybe to the front. Let me grab a stem of that. And play around and see where we want to put this one. I think this could be nice too. I love the variegated like edges that it has. I think it's really pretty. I love that one. So again, taking that step back just really helps. Take a look at it. The sound effects I cannot right now with Owen. They're so funny. I might add one more Hypericum in the high back. Let's see. I do wish I had like one more rose very badly, but I do not. So let's see, maybe we can add like hydrangea back here. I'm gonna play with that, see what that looks like. That kind of looks nice. All right, I do kind of want something trailing off here. Let's see. That's a little fuller there. I just love the greenery for Christmas. I think it's so pretty, so different. There we go. We'll add that into the side. Right here, just to give it a little bit of shape. All right, and then like I said, I feel like every time I do an arrangement, I feel like I could keep going, but I think this is really fun. I think she's full. I might add a tiny bit of, you know, extra height back here, but we'll see how I feel about that, just to make the hellebore pop too. But I'll kind of bring you in here and just give you a quick tour. Again, we have some carnation, some yarrow, some hypericum berries, some holly, some hydrangea. We also have some mums in there, some stock, and a good variety of flowers. But we'll add this to the buffet, and then I'll give you a quick tour of the dining room flip that I did as well. Again, I wish that there was more variety at Trader Joe's this time around, but there really wasn't. So I think, you know, we have what we have, and it'll still look beautiful for the holidays. Okay, so for the flip to Christmas, we just added some of my village that I have had for a while. This is all from Target, but again, really like just red, white, and green theme everywhere. Of course, I know those are Christmas colors, but I like going heavy with that. We have Santa's milk and cookie set. This I also picked up from Target, really cute, but I'm excited. I think the new vase fits in so beautifully, right with everything else. And then again, we have the mantle that I did for Thanksgiving. I did just add in some of these fun like bottle brush trees, which I thought were really cute. I picked up a set of those, some sparkly pine cones, and again, kind of just layered those in throughout. And then we added this bell set too. The kids love to run by this and just kind of ding them every hour on the hour. So they think it's, you know, sounds like Santa's sleigh bells, which is really cute. And I love the way the mantle came out this year. I think it's really fun. Next we have over here, just some faux greenery I kind of mixed in. I picked up this cute ribbon stocking at Target. And then I do have some bud vases up here that I will fill with the leftover greenery that I have. We did grab some, I have these like vintage little ornament balls. And then over here, I just added, again, more cute little bottle brush trees. And then this is another, one of my village houses from Target as well. But love decorating for the holidays. I think it's so fun and to make it magical for the kids. And I'm excited. We have 3 more days left. So excited to host and have everyone over. Again, I kind of just love this bowl of deconstructed stuff from the garland. I can add in some more greenery, but we have these faux dried berries. We have some blue geranium. We have orange slices, pine cones, and just ribbon from the old, you know, stuff that was here. And then just looks cute with the birch log and the candlesticks, and everything else is pretty decked out. And again, I'm going to add some more greenery up here to those bud vases. So I think it still looks very festive and fun, but also a little more low effort with the arrangement that's already on.